right, guys, now let's take the 5 critical daily habits and let's put them into a calendar. All right, as you're going through the process of actually putting together your calendar and putting these things in it, let's talk about how to do it and where to do it when you go through as well. And you're going to see a sample calendar that's up here as well. And let's start with the health and fitness thing, right? So if we start with that process, you're going to see a difference. And I like to put it in an early piece of the morning. And by the way, it doesn't necessarily have to be 7 days a week that you're doing health and fitness, right? If you do it 4 or 5 times, if even 3 times more than what you're doing right now, you're going to make a difference as you go through and you continue. You're going to find out that that's going to increase. And if you can do, again, just 30 minutes to start, right? 30 minutes, walk around the block, clear your head, do something. You're going to find out that a lot of things are going to improve in your daily activities. Okay. So now let's actually put the next one into another piece. And I'm going to say this is your DPA block, right? And I'm going to put 2 hours in here, although it doesn't necessarily have to be 2 hours. It just depends on what you're doing. Your focus is having 2 to 3 real estate conversations on a consistent basis. Now, if you can do that piece and have 2 to 3 real estate conversations, either 4 or 5 days a week, right? 4 to 5 days a week, guys, you're going to be over $100,000 every time. There's also a reason that I put it at that time frame. And the reason for that is that there are 2 times of the day that are the absolute best for getting people to respond to you. And what I mean by that is that's when they'll pick up the phone the best, right? That is 8 to 9 and 4 to 5 on a given day. So you have 2 options for your DPA time. If you can put those times on either this time right here or between here, this is option 2, and especially for those that are dual career or something like that, if you can put them in those 2 times, one of those 2 times, and depending on your goals, if they're massive, you may have both of those. But what's happened is that has turned out to be a time where you have a 4-time increase answer rate. So we're trying to work smarter here, not necessarily harder. If I make 25 calls between 8 and 9, I'm going to get 5, 6 people that are actually answering the call. If I make 25 calls between 10 and 11, guess what? That goes to 1. Guys, this is a study that's been done every year by Salesforce.com, which is the largest CRM for sales organizations in the world by far. The numbers haven't changed. 8 to 9, 4 to 5. Why? Well, 8 to 9 people are either going to work or they're just getting started. They're not into something. 4 to 5, they're coming home from work or they're done with the day, right? So they're going to answer the phone at those different times. So put those in there. Now, that also goes to the next piece as well. When do I do my practice times, right? Well, here's the possibility for that. If I can take this 7 to 8 block and I can split it in half, if I can get 30 minutes in here, that's great. Or if I can do even 15 minutes, 15 minutes. How do you want to do this? Well, I want my practice in this 15 to 30 minutes in that segment. Okay. I want my knowledge in this one. Okay. And this could be in here as well, right? When I'm looking at that part of it. Okay. There's a reason for that. If I'm getting ready to make phone calls, and let's say that I'm going to do lead generation for expireds, right? Between 8 and 9. When I'm studying what the market is doing for 15 minutes, and then I go into 15 minutes of practicing that specific script for my target for that hour of DPA time, guess what happens? You're not going into the conversations Cold. You don't have marbles in your mouth, which so many times we do because you practiced that script for 15 minutes or so prior to ever picking up the first real phone call. So you've done 3, 4 calls before you've done a real call. Huge, huge indication of what to do because it's going to take you 15 minutes. If you started your practice thing here to here, it's going to take you 15 minutes just to get the script normalized and to get comfortable doing it as well.